Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me live in studio today. It's hot. It's hot. It's amazing. I hope you're all well. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button. This will give you the half-an-hour notice when we are live. This will also give you a little bell indicator, which will let you know when anything is brand new in the How to Craft Network studio. I hope you're all well. We're enjoying the sunshine. It looks like you all are. It's a little bit stuffy though, isn't it? And I know a lot of people don't like the heat. So don't forget to click the subscribe button. And my name is Toni. If you are tuning in for the first time, we have this fabulous studio here in Wakefield, which we hope will inspire you in some way. And today it's Christmas in June. Christmas. My gosh, I've just had 2 tangerines, so I'm absolutely full of it. And my candles lit as well. And it smells delightful. So let's say hello to our friends. Hi, Charlotte, Amanda, Roseanne, Michaela, Helen, Linda, Wendy, Myra, Bridget, Michaela, hi, sweetheart, Selma. Wow, lots of you on. I didn't expect this many. It must be too hot for most of you. So today we're going to do a lovely Christmas card in this weather. Why not? And we're going to use some of the brand new products. So a couple of things to tell you about before I jump straight into a demo. And that is, oh my gosh, I've got so much to tell you about. So who has been watching my social media page? Come on, be honest. Who's seen inks and sparkle and pastes and all the good stuff? Come on. Good morning. It's playing catch up. I'm just waiting to see. So if you are on our social media pages, Stamps by Me. And if you are, me, yes. So if you are on our social media pages, Stamps by Me USA, Stamps by Me Eureka fan page, Instagram, then you will have seen I've been flashing some sparkly bits in front of your faces, saying, hey, look at me, hey, look at me. So you're probably wondering what they are. Jan's put eyes ink. You guessed it, sweetheart, that's correct. So, as you all know, I was trying to get eyes ink, wasn't I, in my store. And it's a fabulous story, actually. I love a good success story. So I contacted them and said, please, can I have some stock for our store? We love it. The inks and some of the pastes and some of the sprays. Carly was playing with some of the sprays and they were like, yes, of course. So, and then I just thought, you know, I'm just going to ask the question, will I be allowed to take them to television? As you do. Being cheeky and all, and they would like, we would be delighted if you would do that. So there you go. Eyes Ink is coming to Create and Craft, and we have a corker. So we have some glitter pastes, we have some sprays, we have some pearly pastes, we have some glitters. There's so much going on. They're going to be launched in our last show on Saturday, which is 5:15. You've seen me in studio here use a sort of pearlescent glitter pastes where, you know, you get that lovely iridescent look, and we're going to hopefully use some in studio today if we get a chance. So that's where we're at with it. So I just thought I'd let you know that brilliant news. I'm over the moon that they're allowing us to do it. So we're taking it to Create and Craft exclusively, and you can buy it in our store and in our shop too as well. So I'm so delighted. And when affordability meets quality, which is what I found, makes me very happy. So I'm super excited. So, yeah, Eyes Ink. I'm all over it. Saw the Eyes Ink, yep. So you guessed it. Well done, everybody, if you did guess. So that's one of the little stories that I wanted to tell you about today. Super excited. The other thing that I want to tell you about is this week, Claire is with you on Thursday, probably with Christmas again. And then I'm with you on Saturday with our Christmas launch over on Create and Craft, and that's 3 or 4 shows on Saturday. So go to the planner if you want to watch the inspiration. I know a lot of you have bought the product, which is brilliant. Then you'll be able to sit back and just enjoy the inspiration. What I will say to you though is if you ordered from our website due to the Christmas launch, i.e. Claire's and my own, we were inundated. Okay, really busy, and we get busy, but when we have sales and launches, we get really busy. So I did see that quite a few of you had ordered your parcels on a DPD, which is if you order before 11 o'clock, you get it the next day. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get to any DPD orders. So today the girls have been issuing refunds for anyone that ordered anything on DPD, and they're still working through the orders. But if they get to an order that was DPD, despite us giving a refund, we will still send by DPD. Okay, we just could not flip between the orders and get them out the door. So thank you if you did order, and thank you for your patience so far. The girls are working through them, but I didn't want you to think you'd paid for DPD and you're not going to get it the next day. Okay, so we're giving the refund, we're just giving you the refund back. But when we get to your order, if you did pay the initial DPD, it will still be sent. Okay, hope that's okay. Question. Will you have the inks as well? Linda, I will. I have all of the ink, every single one of them. So that's that. Whew, it's awfully warm. So what else have I got to quickly tell you about? I'm doing a lot of talking today, I do apologise. And I have got a lovely card to make too. So every Friday at 1 o'clock in the How to Craft Network, we're going to be doing a launch. Now, you're probably thinking, really? Yes, really. However, it might not be new. It might be some of our earlier product. It might be something different. So from here on in, every Friday at 1 o'clock, you can come to the How to Craft Network and get some inspiration. Check out the new products, or maybe the old products, or what we've done with them, and I will be launching them. Is that okay? Come and say hi. So Friday, 1 o'clock, there is always going to be a launch here in the How to Craft Network, starting on Friday. I'll see you there. Bye. I'm only joking. So now you know that's the schedule. Have we got a cup of tea or a cup of coffee? I don't think I've got anything else to tell you about unless somebody's going to tell me otherwise. So let's be creative. So in today's studio, really, I'm going to be using some of our lovely new Christmas products. Now, I'm not going to go through them all. You've seen, if you would like to see the live launch, all you need to do is go back to Friday on YouTube, HTCN, and see the full launch. You can see it all there. I'm just going to show you the bits that I'm using today in studio. Yep, sounds perfect. It is cool. And like I say, it's not always going to be new. But I'll try my best to bring something new, but it won't always be new because, you know, I just can't do that at the moment. But I just want you to come and be inspired and it be something different, okay? We don't expect you to spend all the time. You don't have to do that. Just come and say hi and have the inspiration regardless, okay? But we are doing a commercial show every Friday at 1 o'clock. I won't be on at 3 on a Friday. The 1 o'clock will replace the 3 o'clock. And if I'm completely honest, not that I lie, but the 3 o'clock show is really testing for me with my son with school. Literally, as I come off air, I have to run out the door. And if I get caught in traffic, my son's sat at the school gate. So it makes perfect sense to bring it to a 1 o'clock on a Friday. It helps me out a little bit as well. Hello, Barbara saying I she missed loads. Right, okay, but there's going to be lots of, when we do a launch on a Friday, you know how I have to come down the counter myself, I have to talk through all the products, then I have to get here and then I have to demo. It's incredibly difficult. I am exhausted afterward because I have to think about everything I'm saying, and I know you're getting, I know you appreciate it, but it's really, really difficult. So what we've decided to do is, I'm going to maybe try and get Carly in the studio to present for me so she can talk about the products and I can stand here and demo and know exactly what I'm talking about rather than to have to worry about prices and codes and things like that. So, you know, we're up for improvement, so you just need to stand by on that one. So let's craft, that's why you've come. Any questions, just ask away though. So today's studio, I'm going to use the geometric stitching. I know it's in the Christmas packaging, guys, but please check your products at home because we have already launched this one, okay? It's just in the Christmas packaging because the design on it looks so much like a snowflake and it's sold out. So I thought I'd bring it back but pop it in the Christmas packaging. So it's still the same name, So check your stash before you go ahead and buy. I'm going to be using the perfect pine cones, but I'm not using the pine cones today. I'm just going to use a sort of flourish elements on here. And I'm also going to be using the birds because I didn't show you on live launch how the birds come together incredibly well. So I'm going to use the stamps and we'll stamp one of the pretty birds out as well. Is that okay? So let's show you what I've done so far. It is so hot. My coffee's not helping. Has everybody got a cup of tea or a cup of coffee? Or are you all drinking gin? So let's just grab those frames. So here are those pretty frames, and as you can see, I've cut this one out of white here. So basically it cuts out like a deckled sort of design, and then it does a line and 2 stitches all the way around. This is the largest one, and this is going to sit on this grey hot folding note card here. Can we see that there? And then the second design in there has like a snowflakey design, top and bottom. I'm just going to cut this one, and we're going to have this as our matten layer. So Linda's asking about the eyes ink. The eyes ink will be on the website on the weekend. So I'm live on Create and Craft on Saturday. So they may go live Friday evening or Saturday morning. I can't guarantee because it's me that has to do it. But yes, I will get them on as soon as I can. So let's die cut this one out. So this die, if you already have it, is one of my all-time favourites, hence the reason why it's been brought back. It's just so pretty. So I'm just going to pop this one through here, and I'll show you it when we cut it out. I'm just using my cut and boss here. Let's just move the coffee. And let's just run this one through. Ooh, a Wickler's pink lemonade tea. Fabulous iced tea drink. I don't think... Do you know where your mind messes with you, with yourself? So if you have a cup of tea, is it not hot? So I can't drink a cold cup of tea, so I don't think I'd be able to drink an iced tea because I hate cold tea or coffee. Does that make sense, Julian? Help me out. Hi, Helen. Oh, Helen's going to see me in the green room on Saturday. Oh, dear. We don't come up for air, me and Helen, when we get together. We just talk. Which is not a bad thing, is it? She beats me up as well. Helen, welcome to the team, but she beats me up. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. When I'm on channel, I always say that everybody beats me up. Claire beats me up. Carla beats me up. Do you feel sorry for me? I'm only joking. Nobody beats me up. Please don't be reporting anybody. Could you imagine? Right, so ahead of time, I have cut some of these embellishments from these pine cones. Can we see? We have some fern, some sort of ones with the berries, and then we get that lovely sort of stick design on there, which is a naked one, so you can build it up as you wish. Oh, she's pink lemonade flavour, really? Okay. I might try one. I don't know. I don't like to waste as well, so if I buy it, I don't like it. I'm like, oh, I wasted that. So let's show you how these birds work. These birds are awesome. The whole thing, whole collection this year is awesome. Who's been watching the Create and Craft launch? Has there been anything on? Has anybody bought anything? Anything nice been on? Have to let us know. I haven't had a chance to watch, to be honest. Not a bad thing, though. Right, Eureka. Iced tea is yummy. So let's stamp out one of these birds. So I'm going to go, for the birds, my tip to you would be, what have I done with it now? My tip to you would be, keep the packaging close, because on the back there is a lovely guide. Okay, so you can see the guide for the cardinal. It's showing you how to do it. You've got one there for like the robin with the grey tone and then the robin with the brown one. But this one, if you swap out the orange for the blue, you get a blue tip. Okay, so keep that to hand because you will have to follow it. So let's just grab some cardstock, a nice piece of white card. Oh, Michaela's not been watching because she's already spent up with me. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I bet your husband has something to say about that, Michaela. Thought you'd be getting me in trouble. Anybody said I sent it by mistake? So I'm going to go with the cardinal because it's Christmas, okay? So looking at my sheet here, I can see I need the solid portion from the stamp set. So I can see the solid bird here. So I've got the solid element here. So I'm just going to pop him down. Now, don't try and do all 3 birds at once, because you'll get the colours mixed up and you'll end up with a blue tip with a red chest and you'll end up with a cardinal with a blue. You'll end up with a blue cardinal. Not that it matters, but I was trying to do all 3 at once whilst my son was at the same table. It just doesn't work. Make sure you do them on their own. So let's go red. I have a red ink pad here. I've got all of my ink pads here, so this is a red one. So let's stamp this one out. Let's just make that a little bit darker. Now, they are the lamination ones, so you can spray with water. It's personal preference, okay? Today I'm just going to go without the spray. So that's layer 1, okay? So I'm going to pop this back on my sheet here, and then I'm going to look at my thing at the back, my little guide here, and I can see I need this one now, which is this one. So, and then just going to place it on, and I can see from my finished project here, the finished bird, where exactly it needs to go. So I'm just going to pop him up here and bring him down a little bit onto his tail. Sorry, I'm just going to lean in a second. There we go. And I can see we need to go a bit darker. So let's just see what ink pads we've got here. So I've got like, would that be a bit too dark? Let's see. So let's do the next layer. So you can see our cardinals coming together quite nicely. We've got a nice bit of colour on there, so let's swap him out there. So the next one I can see is sort of this one here, I believe. What we've done is we've grouped them all on the stamp set together. So at the top, you get sort of the blue tip ones. The next layer down is sort of your robin, and then these base ones here are your cardinal, and then we have the foliage, which I'm going to do as well. So I'm just grabbed the next part of my bird here, and I'm just going to pop it on here. I can see from my picture where it needs to go. So this is going to put that dark spot on his wing. So Julie's bought the Hunky Dory Blockbuster. Quite like Hunky. I'm not a topper kind of girl, you know, punching out and just... But some of the cards that you can create are absolutely stunning. I do like Hunky Dory. Although it's not my style, I do like it. So this one's going to be in black. And now we've got our cardinal with the dark wing there. Can we see it's got a lovely black wing on there? I'll just put it down for you. Absolutely gorgeous. And then we'll just take his wing off there. And then I'm just going to refer back to here. And then I need his beak, his feet, and his tummy. I'm just going to lay this one on here. So the little spot goes in his eye. And I think we'll go there. Pop the detail into the front of his body here. And there we have our incredible cardinal. How cool is he? That is amazing. You've got to say that is amazing. And then you get the coordinating die, so we will cut him out in a second. So let's just move that one off there. So shall we just quickly do some foliage too? So you get, as we can cut it all at once, you get some sort of like twigs, which are really appropriate and very fitting for what our birds can stand onto. So we have sort of a leaf design here, and we have another leaf design. So you can spray them again, remember? So let's do our green parts first. Sorry, our sticks. And let's do those in a nice brown. There we have our lovely sticks. Let's take these off here. And then we have our lovely greenery, which is our leaves. Okay, so just pop our leaves on here, look. Now again, you can spritz if you want to, it's entirely up to you. And you can move them around as well, should you wish. So let's go bundled sage and a little bit of it. We'll get another green. And then I've got my eye zinc green as well. Let's mix it up and add a bit of bright green too. They actually look watercoloured. Just add a bit more. So there we can see we've got our lovely, lovely sort of branches there with the green on. Warm in here today, isn't it? Hey? Whew. It would be great if Toni would do 3D. Well, I have been talking about those for months. I'm just trying to pick an appropriate time to launch them. But yes, we have the L ones. We have, I think, 6 or 7 designs. So yes, we have the standalone flowers. We have some frames. We have some flowers coming in from the side. Yeah, just waiting for an appropriate time to launch them. So let's show you how these die cut. Now, if you're sort of the die cutter that likes to die cut first, then stamp, then that's absolutely fine. Or these are plates, and if you're just happy to place it over like so, can we see that there? And go for it, then that's absolutely fine. If you're not the most confident when it comes to these plates, just die cut it first, okay, and then stamp. So let's get our die cutting plate. So let's find our outline for our cardinal. Here we go. I'll just pop this around him like so. You see that there? So he looks nice and lovely there, just leaning a little bit. Sorry about the head. You see that there? And then just pop out my pieces on this. Just going to pop the plate in now. Whether I line it up straight or not is another matter, but I'm okay with it. And if it doesn't cut quite right, you know, I'm not precious about it. I'm really not. There we go. So let's run these ones through. So the birds are so cool. Great for gents cards as well. Not just for Christmas, you can use them throughout the whole year. I have got aircon in my studio, but I work with a young man who is cold all the time. And he's laughing now. And I mean cold. So I think this is the first time I've seen his arms this year. So I don't put it on because I like to look after him. Now he's looking at me. I'm getting bullied. I always get bullied, don't I? So there we have our lovely greenery. Can we see that there? And then we have our lovely cardinal bird. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's set these aside. And with these, you're going to be able to build and build and build, which is cool. So what I wanted to do before we got into sort of the construction element of it, this part that we cut here, you know, this lovely decorative part here, let me just pop my dies away because they'll get lost and then I'll come to use them on TV and they'll not be there. So this lovely decorative part here, you see how a lovely poinsettia here, 3D embossing folder. Well, this fits beautifully in here. Now I want to pick the best part of the design. So my card is going this way. So I'm going to go, make sure it pushes the design up. I'm just going to pop this in here and I'm just going to decide which part of the design I really like. So try and get a full poinsettia on there. We see that there? You'll see it when it comes out the machine. So I'm sort of creating texture on the background, but not with ink or stencils or anything like that. I'm just going to lose one of my plates. I'm just going to pop this underneath this one. I'm just going to run this through. And hopefully we'll get a pretty design on there. Lean it in, it's probably, hopefully you'll be able, there we go. See that design on there? How incredibly gorgeous is that? That is a card in itself. Absolutely done. Just see if we can get a better view on there. It's really difficult to get because it's tone on tone, which I adore. I really look at that. Bit of ink on there if you want to. However, I am going to leave it absolutely white. So those embossing folders are also in the show on Saturday. Looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Looks lovely. Yeah, I agree, guys. I really do. Right, so let's put our card, sort of build our card now. So I'm just going to grab some pads here. So first of all, I'm going to use that big 5x7 die with that sort of snowflakey design on the back there. So let's pop some pads on here. So really, the only colour part is those couple of leaves and the cardinal, which is going to really make this design pop. Absolutely love that embossing folder. Just beautiful. I know a lot of you already like it because it's been one of the best sellers, along with the wood slicers and the birds and the pine cones. Make sure my card's the right way up. So let's pop this on here. I have some other exciting news for you as well. Our website's nearly finished. New website for the How to Craft Network, which is so cool. Oh, that might be something to look forward to. So look what happens here when we pop this into the centre here. Look at that. I'm not going to pop any colour on this one, guys. I'm literally leaving it as just that accent in the back, but you all know that if you want to enhance it, you absolutely can. Rolf, you're very welcome. We absolutely try our best. We do. Not always, it's not always what people want to hear, but we absolutely do our best to look after you all. Right, so that's that. And then I am going to, which way do we think, guys? Let's go this way. I'm going to pop this straight into the centre here. So we've got that lovely, lovely design there. Incredibly beautiful. That with a bit of sparkle and the sentiments are beautiful, particularly if you are back to me. So let's just grab all of our lovely embellishments from our pine cones here. Now, I'm just going to grab my paste. Now, the paste is in the show on Saturday, but it won't be in the initial first shows, guys. It will only be available in the last show, which I think is 5.15. So there's various colours in the glitter paste, and I'm going to use a whitish one now for snow. But I'm going to build first. So I have this lovely branch here, just in white. Okay, so I'm going to sort of creep the branch down. Now, before I go into putting anything together, I always try and build before I do anything. So I test where I'm putting everything first. Don't worry, it will have sparkle and it will come to life. Now, trim that down a little bit, and then just that touch of green in with the lovely white and the red bird perched in. Right, let's go for it. So let's just trim this one down a little bit because it's a little bit long for this specific card. And let's just grab our glue. Now, I'm not going to go and stick the whole thing flat. I do like a little bit of dimension, so I'm going to go and bring it probably down to about here. Give that a second to grab. So then we'll start adding some of these white elements. Let's have a look. Are you having a second Christmas launch this year, Toni? No, sweetheart, just the one. We've really stepped out of our box this year with the pine cone. And if I get remind me later on the Eureka fan page, and I will show you a picture of what I created in a piece of paper, and then what you see now as a die and how it works. It's incredible, really. It is really, really cool. So remind me later, and I'll post a picture of me holding it with my hand on camera, saying to the design team, do you think this is going to work? So yes, so just going back there, yes, there is only the one this year. Spent a lot of time on this one this year. And to be honest with you, it's really difficult to keep coming up with different Christmas. There are only so many of this and so many of that. So I'm just going to sort of pop maybe this one under this one here. I'm sort of like adhering that twig to the fern, if that makes any sense. Can we see that there? It's underneath. It's sort of like made my own branch there. And I like the naked, you see this twig here, I like the nakedness. That's why I did a naked branch. I do like to see a naked one because not all the time are they complete. They look really pretty, particularly with watercolours on. But this is a white and white, but you know, I like to see some branches absolutely naked. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to sort of bring in my sort of greenery. I don't know where it's going yet. We see that there? Very plain, which is nice. And then we have our buds, and I'll pop some gems on here. The bird's obviously going to have a pad behind. So before I stick anything flat, let's think about where we're popping him. Let's go for it. What's the worst that can happen? She says it is only a piece of card and paper. Susan Breton saying she's been using eyes ink for the last 2 years and you cannot beat them. I am pleased that Toni is selling them. I think the thing that really made me sway is the paste. The glitter paste and the pearly paste is incredible. It's an absolute given. So if you are a background fan, a stencil fan, because they dry pretty much straight away, you're onto a winner straight away. But with the ink pads, as you all know, I have lots of ink pads, and I don't think there is a brand of ink pad that I don't have. I don't have them all out in studio. I'm just like you guys at home. I buy, I try, it goes in a drawer and never sees the light of day again. However, when I bought those Eyes Ink pads for the price, I didn't expect much. And I thought, well, do you know, if they're not great, my son will use them, because my son's got a bigger stash than me, really. So I'm not overly concerned about it because they're not expensive. But when I got them, I was like, my gosh, I really like these. That then led me on to getting the paste, and it dries quick. It's so sparkly. Everything's eco-friendly from Aladdin, which is incredible. So that's when I thought, right, I need these. Because, yeah, it's all good and well having everything, but not everybody can afford everything either, me included. So I want to be able to have that range where you can have ink pads as good as the ink pads that we all know and love for half that price. So let's pop this green here. So I'm building up like a bit of a winter scene here. I'm going to pop a pad behind my bird, so he's elevated a little bit. It's good actually that people have been using it. I've only been using it in the last few months, as you all know. And I started with one of the white ink pads, if you remember. So Claire's saying she's noticed that everything on Create and Craft's a little bit expensive. I haven't been watching, so... Yeah, everything's going up. I'm not defending anybody. Everything is going up. The world's gone crazy. But like I say, I haven't had the opportunity to have a look, really. And I think the only way to resolve the price points, if they are going up, is to reduce the size of the bundles, and then it brings it back down to being more affordable for people, doesn't it? Have a look how this one looks so far. I think that looks pretty awesome. Let's trim off this bit here. Just tuck this under our lovely bird there. I love the idea of being able to have the overhang, albeit I'm not liking the feet on show, so I need to tuck his feet under a petal or a leaf. There we go. So I don't know if you can see that, but we have got some lovely dimension on that card there. It's coming together really nice. It needs a sparkle. Yes, that's a given. I'm just going to add some more branches though. I don't want to hide all of that beautiful embossing folder. But I do like to build, as you all know. I have a very similar demo to this one actually on TV, but it's using the baubles. And again, I have like a paper template of those baubles. Everybody's looking at me googly-eyed in office like as if to say, what are you on about? I'm like, I need the die to overhang the circle so it looks like it's going around. Like, we don't get it. We don't get it. We need to make that die. Right, so let's add some of the sparkle to make it look like snow, hey? Let me just grab a tool, 1 second. I just need a blade or a spatula of some form. I'll just go with my blade. I'm just going to... So again, some other things that you maybe didn't know about Aladdin as well is they're all sort of like in these juice containers. So these are what they have juice in. So it's recycled packaging, which is super cool as well. So that's another tick, isn't it? You know, if my son tells me about any more David Attenborough things or anything like that, he asks me that, he puts me under pressure, you know. So I just have some of this lovely... I'm just using my blade here now. You use the spatula at home, and I'll show you the sparkle once I've got it on, because it'll not show until I lift it and it captures the light. I am actually putting it on in chunks, so it looks like snow has settled. I've got like big clumps of it. That is what you're probably thinking, is that what you want? Yes, that's what I want. I want it to look like snow has settled. And it's super fast drying too. And I'll just pop some lovely berries. So let me just pop some berries on there. Now, this is fast drying, and if you leave it on anything, it will ruin it. And you can wash it at 40 degrees. Make sure you take it off all of your blades, your stencils, hot water, things like that. So let's get a lovely sentiment on here. So from our sentiment collection, you've seen, I don't think I had the opportunity, or I did, I think I showed you them. So we've got the words here. So you have the large words with the missing detail, and then you can add in whatever your word you want there. So let's go ahead and do this one. And I'm just doing this straight onto a white piece of card. I'm not going to go anything fancy because I want the focus to be my bird. Let's just use this piece of white card. No, let's maybe not put this thing through the machine. Grab a nice, clean, fresh. So I think we need, because our card is grey, I'm going to stamp in grey, and then I'm going to put the detailing in red so it matches our bird. So let's go for, I think I'm going to go, let's go small. I'm going to go for happy. I'm going to stamp happy first. I'm just going to go as close as I can to that edge. Okay. Let's just grab like a grey ink pad. There we go. Nice grey one here. I don't want, now you could stamp it in black, but I don't want the sentiment to take your eye away from my bird. So I'm just going to do this a few times because it is a distress ink pad which needs a few goes. In fact, shall we go green, because we've got that little punch of green in there. Let's go green. And then let's pick happy. Oh gosh. My gosh, there's so many happy crackers. Make sure you use them accordingly. Happy crackers. Happy holidays, happy Christmas, happy winter. Oh gosh. I don't know which to, because you can, let me just kind of just show how, look, you just pop, and then you can pop in the word. As if it's, you know, going in there. So you can see, let's go happy Christmas. It's the easiest one. I'm just going to take the little Christmas here, and I'm just going to pop it in that recess because it fits perfectly. Like so. I'm just going to take off happy. Make sure that's straight. Oops, there's this finger now. Pop it in that little space there. And then we'll stamp it out in a green. This is like a yellowy green. Oh, it's straight. Oh, it's not so straight, but it's okay. I'm going to go with it. So then let's cut this one down. Make sure you put your little pieces back on the carrier sheet because those little words are quite small. And let's trim this one down. Now, in that lovely die set where we've got that decorative element, there is a small plaque in there as well. So I could have done this on that small plaque. However, I think my card's looking a little bit busy. So we'll just stick to this one for now, but bear in mind there are some small plaque ones in there as well. I'll just pop a little pad behind here. Now, you would normally pop it down here, but I'm losing half of my poinsettia, so I'm going to go up here just to be different. But obviously, you can pop it wherever you like. So let me just get some red on those berries. Now, you could use your sparkle pens. I've got my sparkle pen to hand, just 1 second. Oh, I've got an orange. No. Let's pop some gems on. Until it's Christmas, I'm nearly out of red. They sit there all year long, don't they? So let's just pop some of these lovely red gems onto this card, and then I think we're pretty much done. I'll show you the dimension and the sparkle then. 1 second, I'm just put my blade back into my tool here so I can pick them up. There we go. Just pop. We'll just leave it at the 3, shall we? Let's just hold this one up and show you how pretty it is, and hopefully you'll see that chunky glitter on there as well, which can give us that lovely spark. Yeah. Hopefully, there we go. Can you see that sparkle? There we go. I'll step out of the way so we can get a pretty picture. You can see that lovely poinsettia 3D in the background there, albeit you can't see most of it, but the suggestion is there, which stops it from being a plain card. Now, you all know if you don't have the the 3D embossing folders, fill those open spaces with maybe some metallic splats or white splats or something like that. So that's a Christmas card for today. I hope you like it and you're feeling in the Christmas mood. Let's have a look. Roseanne Malone. Question, is there a birthday in the word? People have Xmas birthdays. Let me check. No, sweetheart. There is no birthday. Why didn't I think of that? Nope, there's no birthday, unfortunately. But it would have been a great idea. I'm gutted now. So there we go. So I will pop a nice picture for this one over on social media. If you're not a member on our Eureka fan page, please go and say hi. There is some lovely ladies on there who post inspiration every single day. And I think I'm up to speed. I think I've told you everything. I've chewed your ears off, haven't I, to start with. And I hope it wasn't Operation Overload and you know where you're at with us. So I'm back with you tomorrow, and then it's Claire Thursday, live launch on Friday, launch on Saturday on Create. Lots to go out there, so we'll keep you all busy. So whatever you're doing, have a lovely afternoon, stroke evening, and I'll catch you all tomorrow with something different, not Christmas. Stay tuned. See you all later. Bye.